Hi everyone, Carmen Broxma here from Arvada, Colorado. I'm a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I've been with part of Stampin' Up! Since 1998. So I've been doing this a long time. So today I wanted to bring you an alternative project to the February Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I have said this in the past, but I'll go ahead and say it again, that these kits are wonderful because if this is something that you might think you might be interested in doing, making cards, making handmade cards or paper crafts, then using one of the Paper Pumpkin kits, subscribing to it, or just trying it out for a month is the great way to go, because it comes everything that you need in the kit to make the cards that they show here. But since I've been stamping for so long, sometimes these cards are just either a little too simple for me, or they're not exactly the design that I like. So sometimes I like the cards exactly how they are. Like this one, I think is gorgeous. I mean, I would probably recreate that just the way it is. However, this one over here was not one of my favorites in this kit because, first of all, I'm not a big fan of doily looking things and with the gold. There's just too much gold in that. And so it looks like what they've done for this card is what's included in is these like a doily, but it's a shiny gold, and it looks like all they've done is they've taken the card base, which they've provided in the kit, and folded it in half and put this gold on the front. They took one of these labels that are punched out that are in the kit, and they stamped on it, and it looks like they stamped sorry for your loss, and they stamped it in the Mossy Meadow, which I don't know. I mean, I don't see Mossy Meadow anywhere here, so it didn't make sense to me. So I was like, I don't know that I like that. And then they went ahead and added these black rhinestones. And then that's how they came up with this design right here. But like I said, I wasn't a big fan of this design, and it was too simple for me. So I went ahead and redid it to something that was more appealing to me. And I'm going to show you what I did. So what I did is I took the card base, and this is Mary Merlot, and I went ahead and got a piece of Mary Merlot cardstock from my stash of colors, and I cut me a new card base. And so I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half. And basically the card bases are, they're cut at 8.5 by 5.5. But then once you fold it in half, then the card base is 4.25 by 5.5. So then I went ahead and took what they provided, and I cut it down to, I wanted to have a mat, but I wanted the next mat to be white. So I cut this side down to 5.25 by 4, and then that left me with this right here. See, this was the other side, so I have that. And then I took this side and I cut it down one more time to 5 by 3.75. And that left me with this so that I could mat it on the front of my card. So I liked that look better. It had more layers and it was more appealing to me. But then with the gold foil that they had, like I said, I'm not a big fan of the gold foil. So I went ahead and turned it over and I cut it in half. So now that left me with a piece that looks like this. And I decided I was going to mount that on my card in this bottom right-hand corner. But then I thought, well, I want to add a little more something to this. And so typically I kind of looked at the design of the paper and I thought, what stamp sets do I own that have a flower that's similar to that? And so I found this one. It's called Dress to Impress, and it's a cute little set that has like lipstick and high heels and perfume and all these sentiments, and it's just a really fun set. But what I liked about it were the two flowers that were in this set that to me matched this background really well. So what I went ahead and did was I decided, well, I played around with it for a little bit and decided I wasn't sure if I wanted to color the flowers or what I wanted to do with that. So after playing around with it, I decided I just wanted to stamp my flowers. So I went ahead and mounted these two flowers on these acrylic blocks and got a piece of basic white scrap of cardstock, and let's go ahead and open this up, and we're going to stamp. This is the bigger flower, so I'm going to ink this up, stamp it on here, and then this is the stamp that has two flowers on it, so I'm inking it up and stamping it on here. And there you have the two different flowers that comes in that set. And the nice thing is it comes also, if you buy the bundle, it comes with these die cuts that you can use to cut these flowers out. So, but if you don't have the die cuts, you can always cut around them with your scissors. But you know, that's just when you have the ability to do it with the dies, then why would you want to do that? So I basically just lined up the dies with the flowers, and then I took it and ran it through my well, let's see, why am I not lining this up very well? There we go. Took and ran it through my stamp and emboss cutting machine and die cut them out, and I'm not going to do that here, but I did it ahead of time, and that left me with these flowers right here. So then I thought, okay, well, let's see, I thought to myself, if I go ahead and I mount this, and let's just go ahead and do that so that it's easier to see what I'm trying to get at here. So I'm going to take this that I cut down, and I'm going to go ahead and find my adhesive here, and I'm going to go ahead and put some adhesive on the back of this so I could mount it on my card base. So let's do that real quick here so that you can see how my card came together. So I wanted the white side, so let's go ahead and make sure we have a nice even border the best we can, and I mounted that there. Then let's go ahead and mount, actually I'm not going to mount this yet until I make sure that I have everything the way I like it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mount this on here, but since this is shiny and I'm not so sure how well the adhesive is going to work on that, I'm going to use a liquid adhesive, and I'm just going to put that, oops, got some goobers there, I'm going to put that on just this middle part right here, because I don't want to have to try to figure out how to go in all those little areas there. So now I'm going to take this and I'm going to mount it flush with the edge of my designer paper here that I created from the card base, and glue that down. So then I was looking at my flowers that I had stamped and cut out, and I thought, well, you can't see them if I want to put them here. And I thought, well, where am I going to put them? So I decided I was going to go ahead and add another piece. So I went and got a scrap piece of Mary Merlot and my 1.5 inch punch. It's a circle punch. And this is retiring. It will not be in the new catalog. So if you want any of these circle punches, you got to make sure you order them before the new catalog goes live on May 4th. So I decided that I don't really need a whole circle, right? But I'm just going to go ahead and pop it in here into my scrap Mary Merlot and decide, guess I'll do about that much. We'll see how that works. And then I am going to adhere that. I guess I eyeballed that pretty good. So again, I'm going to take my liquid adhesive and add it to the back. And then move this over here so I don't have to keep putting my arm in front of the camera. So now I'm going to go ahead and put this right, I'm going to line it up with the edge as well, and right in the middle of that circle area. So there we go. So the reason why I didn't want to mount this first, because if this circle was too big, then I was going to have to turn it over and cut it off with my scissors, but I seem to eyeball that pretty good, so I don't have to worry about that. So I'm going to go ahead now and adhere this to the front of my card, and get this card designed here and show you how you don't have to stick with what they give in the kit. If you feel like venturing out and being creative, you can, and if you don't want to, you can make it exactly how it comes in the kit. So now I'm going to go ahead and try to get an even border around the edge of all of these and put that down. Okay, go ahead and make sure that's sealed nicely. So then I thought, okay, now let's arrange our flowers. So I decided I wanted the two smaller ones to be at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and use some liquid adhesive. And the reason why I like the liquid adhesive sometimes, I don't like it all the time because I get my fingers in it, and then I'm all sticky and that drives me nuts. So, but in this case, I like it because then I can move it around as I need to. So, and I'm going to put that right about there, and see, I have some wiggle room where I can move it if I need to. And there we go. We got that one attached. Now, this one, I wanted it to be popped up. So I'm going to take a Stampin' Dimensional, plop it right here on the back, and I'm going to put this flower just right about here. I think that'll look nice. Now I thought, well, what do I want to turn this into? What kind of card? And in the stamp set that I'm using for the flowers, there is a sentiment that says Happy Mother's Day. And I thought, well, Mother's Day's coming up. This would be a perfect sentiment to use on this card. And it's to me, it looks like a mom. It looks like a mom card. So we're going to turn it into a Mother's Day card. So I went ahead and took another piece of the basic white cardstock, and I took the Happy Mother's Day stamp. I'm going to ink that up and stamp it on here. There we go. And then in this set was this die that has, I thought would be perfect because obviously it was made exactly for it. So I went ahead and put that on there and ran it through my cut and emboss machine, and that turned into this. So there we have that. So now I'm going to go, I wanted to pop that up as well, so I'm going to turn it over, and I'm going to add some Stampin' Dimensionals to the back. And I like it to be even and so that it doesn't have any bulges. So I'm going to put 3 pieces, and I'm going to pull those off, the backings off, so that we can reveal the sticky part. And then I'm going to go ahead, and I couldn't decide whether I wanted it down here, and you could put it really anywhere if you wanted it to kind of just keep all the busyness down here, but then I kind of liked it up here too. So I was having a hard time deciding where to put it. So I ended up making the decision to put it up here, but like I said, it would be just as cute down here. So whatever you like. So let's go ahead and find a nice place for that up here. There we go. Okay, so then I thought, well, you know, it needs a little something more. It needs some bling because it's for a mom and they like blingy things. At least I think they do, but maybe they don't. So I decided I was going to use some of the basic pearls, but they're all white, and I wanted a little bit of this Mary Merlot color. Well, Stampin' Up! Does not sell the stamping blends in the Mary Merlot, so I went ahead and I got the, let's see, it's called Blackberry Bliss, and I am going to take the brush end of this, and I'm going to color the pearls. And you can just take the brush end and you can just color the pearls to whatever color you want. It would have been ideal had Stampin' Up! Had the Mary Merlot, and then I wouldn't have to try to match it. But when I looked at that, I thought, well, that really doesn't match completely. So I went ahead and took another of the dark rich razzleberry blend, and also I'm going to take the brush end tip and I'm going to go right over that other color to see if I can get a little bit closer of a color to the cardstock. And I think that is pretty close. So I'm really happy with that. So now I'm going to take, these are meant to be pulled off together in rows like that, but I'm going to go ahead and take this and cut the adhesive by tearing that and picking that up, and let's see if I can get, looks like there's some glue on the back of that. So let's go ahead and try to get that put there. Let's see, let me grab, there we go, let's grab it this way. And I'm going to put one on this side, then I'm going to try to get another one off of here. I'm trying to get all the glue with it. Well, that didn't work so well. So let's try to get that glue off of there. Well, when all else fails, just put a little dot of liquid glue and see if that works better. Okay. Now let's go ahead and pick up this little pearl that we colored and add it there. Okay. And then of course I wanted more, so I'm going to go ahead and add, and I like to do my embellishments in odd numbers. So we've got 2 there, so I want to put a few on the paper, so let's add another 3. So I'm going to go ahead and pop off, and I'll put them on one of the dots that's on the paper, but this time I'm going to just use the pearl so that I can see it against that Mary Merlot color, because if I would have used the Mary Merlot, you wouldn't have seen it very well. So there we go. We have 3 pearls there. And there's that. And then I thought, well, what am I going to put on the inside? And so I found another stamp set that I had. And because I love sunflowers, I would, of course, definitely own this one. But there's a sentiment in here that says, know that you are loved. So I decided that that's what was going to be used for the inside of the card. So here is, I already stamped it. I'm going to go ahead and add some adhesive to the back of this. And put that on the inside of my card. Trying to get an even border. And there you have it. I think that turned out to be a great Mother's Day card. And I'm happier with it. And not to say that the one that they've done is bad, it just wasn't for me. So I decided to come up with a different design. So there's that one. So hope you like it. I really think it turned out great, and I really like it. And I like using the white side of that gold because the gold was just a little too much for me. So there's an alternative for that. And once I wanted to do probably a couple more designs from this kit. So as soon as I get those designed, I will come back and share those with you as well. So if you don't want to miss those, be sure you subscribe so that you, and you can ring the bell if you want to get notified when I've uploaded those videos to my YouTube channel. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed that, and have a great evening. Bye-bye.